This is the cruelest dating show I've ever seen.
I do go for women similar to my mum on looks.
Slut!
Thanks. But I'm not really feeling anything.
Blimey.
I was just sorry I have to go, was you?
Because I'm eating your dinner.
Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be breaking down the wildest dating show that's ever appeared on British TV, The Undatables. And no, before you comment, I'm not on this show. Shockingly. Shut up, ma'am. Always commenting on me videos. When I first saw the name of this show, I thought it was pretty bold and almost nasty. I don't know anybody that would want to be called undateable. It also made me consider what makes a person undateable. I guess we're going to find out later in this video. This show's tagline is helping people living with challenging conditions find love, which is pretty vague, but later on you're going to find out what this means. In this video, we're going to cover 3 of the undatables the show shows us as they get set up with a professional dating agency and start their dating adventures with the hope of finding love at the end. Firstly, we're going to get to know the undatables and find out why they're struggling to find love, find out what they want in a partner, find out if they actually are undateable when they all go on their first dates live. And at the end of this video, we're also going to see where each of these contestants are today and if they are still or have found love. I'm so excited for this one, so let's just get into it. The first dater we meet is Richard, and he is an amateur radio enthusiast, and they start the show by him talking on the radio to one of his friends, and it's so wholesome.
Standing by for any possible contact.
Please stand by a bit longer.
Stop it. Sorry, already, this man is dateable. What do you mean? In his spare time, he just spends it on a radio talking to his friend. That's the cutest thing ever. What? He's not out in the club cheating on you? Right? Trying to get on random people's Snapchat stories? The man just wants to talk on his radio, man. What a bloke. We find out that Richard has only had one date in the last 20 years.
Has only had one date in 20 years, and that lasted just 20 minutes.
Good evening, Alvin. Or good afternoon, Alvin.
Are they going to give us any context to that? It only lasted 20 minutes. What happened? Did she find out about the amateur radio stuff and was like, it's too far for me? Right. More of a Spotify fan, if I'm honest. Can't be doing with this AM, FM shit. Richard then tells us the type of woman that he's after.
My dream is to find a nice woman who's blonde, not too impatient or bossy or anything.
This guy instantly seems like really charming. I love that the first thing he said was blonde. Okay? Blonde before everything. That's all. Brunettes, get out. Right? Richard doesn't want anything with you.
Richard has Asperger's syndrome.
And you're off tube and you're pretty socially inept.
Like, that's really sad. That it's really, like, good that he's, like, self-aware. He knows, like, this is how his condition affects him when it comes to dating. But I definitely think there's loads of people in the world for Richard. Like, this guy gives off such good vibes. I really hope by the end of this episode, he finds the perfect person. Richard also talks about how he's lived alone since the age of 18 and he can get really lonely.
I definitely think there is somebody out there for me. I've just got to be positive about it.
Richard, I'll marry you. I know you're not into dicks. Okay, neither am I. But this isn't going to work, is it? If Richard is still single by the end of this episode, I'm going to riot. Obviously, with these Asperger's and the fact that he just spends a lot of time alone, he's not getting that much human interaction. So I do wonder what he's going to be like on a first date, because that is one of the most kind of awkwardest scenarios you can be put in. That's tough for anybody. Richard talks about how his dad died when he was younger, and because of this, he's grown up really close to his mother because that's been his only parent. Some people might argue he's too close with her.
I suppose I do go for women similar to my mum on looks.
Hey, all I'm going to say is, Freud, he's going to be laughing at his grave right now. It is a little bit odd that he specifically mentioned looks. Like, it doesn't matter if everything else is off. Just as long as she looks like me mum, that's good with me. In a way, I think Richard means that he just wants somebody that resembles how much he loves his mum. I don't think he really meant that he wants to shag somebody that is identical to his mum. It sounded like that, but I don't think that's what he meant. I'm gonna be a Richard defender till the day I die. It's also interesting that Richard said earlier that he wants somebody that's blonde, and like we've just saw the photo from his mum, she is also blonde. We then get to meet Richard's mum, who's called Liz.
He likes older women.
women. Probably older women are a bit more patient as well.
What happens if Liz just wants like a mate to go to the bingo with, right? She's like, yeah, Richard, you'd want somebody that's got similar interests to me, wouldn't you? Somebody that's my age, wouldn't you, Richard? That's what you'd want, yeah. Likes the bingo. Yeah, you would, Richard. That would make you happy, wouldn't it? Also, I mean this in the nicest possible way. Do you know who Richard kind of reminds us of, just his mannerisms? Is Arthur TV, who is also another YouTuber, my friend. The more I look at Richard, the more I'm like, wait, is this? That's Arthur. Like, what? When did Arthur age so much? The show then cuts to the professional dating agency that will be helping people like Richard find love on the show. And I didn't even know this exists, that people can enter themselves into like a professional dating agency and they will match you up with someone and send you on a date. Like, how did I not know that was a thing? This particular one that the Undatables work with is called Searchmates, and like they have like an actual website and everything. They even have a premium service. What? Can you imagine being in like the premium category of a dating agency? You must have some like bollocks with the diameter of like 10 centimetres. I mean, I don't know what the metrics are to get you into that category. I don't know if ball size comes into it. It'd be a bit weird if it did. Wow, that man's got a lot of sperm. You're going straight to the top. Somebody from this dating agency then comes out to visit Richard and just find out a little bit more information about him.
This is my mum.
Hello. Liz.
Basically, right, I've brought her along because I want that. Just a little bit younger. Everything you see in here, just 20 years younger, love. And then, right, you've succeeded.
How tall are you?
About 6'1".
It's one of the main things that the ladies will ask for.
Wait, that's the first thing you ladies ask for? Wow, how shallow. Turn my opinion you have today. Ladies, used to think a lot of you. Now I think nothing of you. Wow. It's all right, short kings out there. It's fine. Don't worry. They're not all like that. Bloody women. Honestly. That's the first thing they ask for. That's incredible. I wonder what would be the first thing guys ask for. Well, blonde hair, apparently, according to Richard.
So you're in good health? Yes.
And still do this as well.
Oh, blimey. Is that your past trick? So that's from your weight training, obviously, doing all that.
I love Richard. The guy is like so funny. To be fair, that's enough to woo a woman, right? He's 6'1" and he can go. I mean, I can't even do it. How's he doing that? Like with a straight face as well, like maintaining eye contact. It's even harder. No, I just look like I'm going to like wear your skin or something. I need to stop that. That's, yeah. You're going to see later on in this video how Richard actually uses this technique to woo a woman on a date. Woo a woman? Woo a woman. Stupid Geordie accent. Richard then gives the agency like an idea of what he wants from a woman. He says this one thing that he doesn't want them to live, like 5 miles away from him because that's just his comfort area, and he doesn't want to be in the car for too long because he's uncomfortable driving.
Is it just you don't like busy roads and things?
I don't like busy roads because busy roads make me drive like a lunatic.
Now, some people might think that's like a stupid kind of thing for him to say at the agency, but these are all things that just make him comfortable, and all of these things will make him just, feel more connected to the person on a date. Like, little things to Richard will feel like a big thing. So from the agency's point of view, they just want to make sure that he's as comfortable as possible. Richard's mum then kind of combats Richard on the mileage thing and says that he can be flexible on that, and Richard just starts giving her hackies.
You're getting frown now, Mum.
It's just that I feel you shouldn't dismiss people.
He's like, Mum, shut the fuck up. Like, what do you know about my love life? I say 5 miles. It's 5 miles. Don't listen to her. She's only here for her looks. That reaction he's given his mum is definitely down to his Asperger's, because Richard's going to be very stuck in his thinking. It's very hard to change his opinion on things, so I think it's best to just go with his mileage on this, because this is the thing that he's like, these are his boundaries that he wants to set. Because for anybody going into a dating agency, it's like nerve-wracking anyway. But for Richard, it'll just be like, extra amplified, so it's best just to make sure he's comfortable. However, the woman from the agency does say it's going to be incredibly difficult to find somebody for Richard because, the area of people that he wants to date isn't too high. But we're rooting for Richard, okay? By the end of this episode, that man is going to be like Romeo, finding his Capulet. We then get introduced to our second dater that will be appearing on the show. It's Luke, and he's 23.
I have no confidence with girls anyway. You don't know what's going to come out.
Hey! I mean, there goes any chance of me making any money off this video. It's not your fault, Luke. I get it. You could have gave me like 100 guesses what you would have said there, and I never would have guessed. fist. As you can probably tell, Luke has Tourette's, so he has no control over his vocal or physical tics. When he's in a stressful scenario, these tics get even worse, and like being followed by a camera crew is only gonna like amplify these tics and amplify this stress level. Also, what's making Luke more stressed is he's about to go on stage and do a stand-up routine because he's a stand-up comedian.
Nice to meet you. Stop me dick, you slag. No offence, love. It was hard growing up with Tourette's and playing games like hide and seek. I'm in the bushes! Game over.
Like, this guy has incredible comedic timing. The fact he can use the Tourette's is almost like a superpower when he's on stage and use it within his routine and react so quickly with it. Like, that's such an amazing talent. And it's also so inspiring that he's managed to take control of something which probably takes over his life on a daily basis for the short period of time that he is on stage. It's like amazing. Luke said that he's had Tourette's since the age of 14, and this has made it incredibly difficult to date. One of Luke's friends tells an experience that Luke's had where he was speaking to a girl and it didn't work out.
And I just look over and he's actually talking to a girl. And next minute, he's got his drink and just gone, throwing this drink all over it.
I mean, that'll do it, to be fair. It's not Luke's fault at all, but imagine you're on a night out and you're in like a total white dress and now it's purple. You're going to be a little bit gutted. You're not going to be angry at him because you know he can't help it, but that still doesn't change how you're going to feel.
Bitch.
I thought he looked into the kid's eyes when he said that one. I was like, whoa. I mean, leave the kid out of it. What's the kid done? To be fair, you know, didn't see what went on before camera. The kid could have been an evil. I'm not going to call a child an evil twat. That's too far. We are going to meet another data later on in this video, but before that, the show then cuts back to Richard, who's been sent the dating profile of a potential partner.
Age 38, single, no children, non-smoker, and
I mean, I don't know if she looks that much like Liz, and she's not blonde. But if Richard can put away the physical attraction chart he's had, you know, before this process, maybe he's onto a winner. Richard, you've got to try something else to get a different result, sir.
looks lovely, don't you think?
Yeah, I'll give that a try.
Yeah, I'll give her a try. What's the worst that could happen? Come on, Rich! Again, because what Richard has to go through on a daily basis with his Asperger's, it makes like any new experience like even more stressful. He has to ring Dawn, who is the person from the dating profile, to set up the date. And I know I would be nervous like ringing someone for the first time if this was the case. So I can't imagine how Richard's feeling doing this, but he actually smashes it.
I look forward to seeing you. See you then. Bye now.
Go on, son! Get in, Richard! Go on! To be fair, he's got more confidence than me. I am a shell of a person when I speak on the phone. Genuinely, like when I'm trying to ring up a Chinese takeaway to order some salt and pepper chicken, I'm trembling. You're already a better man than me, Richard. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Although Richard did conquer the phone call, he's stressing out because he's agreed to meet Dawn at a pub that is outside of his 5-mile radius. And when he's going on Google Maps, it isn't actually showing him how to get there.
Stupid mental thing. People have decided are stupid.
You can't think straight.
But I can't think straight anyway.
To be fair, I'm with you on that, Richard. Like, when technology just doesn't work, I'm like, you know what? Whoever fucking designed this should be hung. That's a little far, innit? Right? I mean, you know, if something buffers, that's probably a bit of a harsh punishment. But, you know, they should, you know, have a severely underwhelming evening. We now get introduced to our final data of the episode, who is a 23-year-old called Penny. And the way they introduce Penny is a little bit odd, in my opinion.
When choosing a partner, most people like to aim high.
You can't... But... What do you mean that they aim high? What are you trying to say here? We know what you're trying to say here. You're trying to make us the bad guy. Because Penny is an aerial artist, and she says she chose to do this because she's so used to looking up at people. She wants an excuse to look down at people, which I guess is fair enough. In her words, she's kind of turning her weakness into like a strength. You slay queen, right? You get up there. You look down on everyone that's ever looked down on you. She tells us that she's got a genetic disorder, which means that her bones are really fragile. She says that she's broken over 200 bones in her lifetime.
My nose and my collarbone are the only bones what I haven't broken.
Don't worry, love. I'll fix that for you. Poof! There's the nose. Just the collarbone now. Sometimes it's best just to not joke, you know. Penny then tells us what her ideal man would be.
Maybe a policeman, because I like policeman's uniform. People assume that I want a small guy, but no, I like them tall.
You know what, love? If you like them tall, you bloody like them tall. Don't care what people think, right? You want a 6'6" giant? You have a 6'6" giant. You deserve it, love. You want to constantly be like this? You fucking get that for yourself. I've seen this thing on TikTok where apparently tall girls are getting angry at short girls because short girls are taking all of the tall men and there's none left for the tall girls. Is that a real thing? Apparently that's an epidemic going on right now. The short girls are being selfish. The tall girls are left with the short kings and being made to look even taller. What's going on? Society's crumbling. Penny then sits down with her mum and they have a conversation about Penny's condition, and they say that this year's actually been a really good year, but it is quite sad what a good year means for Penny.
2 weeks to go before I'm fracture free for a whole year. Well, that's excluding fingers and toes. It don't count now.
You know, this woman is so strong. The fact that, you know, most people, if they broke a toe or broke a finger or a rib, would be in, you know, tremendous amounts of pain, and she just kind of pushes that to the side as if that's just normal. She's also studying to be a primary school teacher, and again, like, all these people in the show are just really inspiring how they just overcome the challenges that they face in their lives.
Penny has a close-knit group of friends.
They're all in serious relationships or have been. Sometimes I do feel like I'm going to be the one left behind.
Imagine you were just like sleeping and like your lass got up and just started doing that next to the bed. I would just be like... I'm like, so are you like a goddess or something? What? Just getting up and casually just like doing pirouettes at the side of the bed. Go on, love. We then find out that Penny has actually never been on a date in her life, which makes me think we need a fridge freezer man for this woman. Okay? Somebody built for the apocalypse. A man that will never have to use his tiptoes in his life. That's what Penny deserves, and that's what Penny should get. A man that makes all the pounds for Penny. Now we've seen all of the datas that we're going to follow in this episode. Let me know in the comments right now if you think any of these are going to find true love by the end of this episode, and then come back to your comment to see if you were right. No cheating, okay? I know if you're cheating. Moving on, the show then cuts back to Richard, and like we've said, Richard gets like really nervous when a new experience comes up, especially when it's dating someone. So him and his mum have gone to the pub and they're doing like a dress rehearsal for the date, where Richard's mum is pretending to be Dawn, who he's going to be on a date with.
I'm going to pretend to be your date now, all right?
Well, all right.
Think of something you want to ask if I'm Dawn.
Dawn. Bet you wish you could wake up to my crack of dawn. This is why I was single for so many years. Yeah.
I'm a catering assistant.
What sort of food do you cook?
Well, I cook meals.
What sort of meals?
I love that even Richard knows he was being a little intense there. Well, what sort of meals? What do you season them with? To get a little bit like a job interview now. Just, right, you were doing well. Just chill. Okay. It's how we give his mum like less and less time to answer each question. Oh, I love this, man. It is so awkward though, like, you know, first dates are just the most hell thing on earth. You've just got to get through them.
I can make a casserole.
I'm not a casserole person, really. Burgers?
Yes. So I can
No,
do
like
those.
meats.
Oh, all right, bringing up meat. The sign says no ball games. Okay, Richard, stop bringing up your meat. Also, you can tell that Liz, Richard's mum, is such a nice woman. She's so patient with him and she really just wants to help him, and she seems like she always has time for him, which is just such... like an amazing thing. The fact she's even coming on this date and like coming to the same kind of venue that Richard's gonna be with Dawn, you can tell she just really, really cares about him, and it's so lovely. Meanwhile, Luke is waiting at a pub. He's waiting for the woman from the dating agency to arrive to get to know him a little bit more so she can find him a potential date. And he says how going on a first date makes him so nervous.
I just think it's lack of confidence and not knowing what to say and scared of being rejected. I don't think the Tourette's got anything to do with it, really.
Now, some people might think that the Tourette's does have something to do with it and disagree with Luke, but I actually think it's amazing that he thinks Tourette's has nothing to do with it, because he said that his tics are amplified by how stressed he is and how nervous he is. And like he says, that's because he has really little to no confidence. So if he can be comfortable and confident around a girl, it would probably limit the amount of tics and how stressed overall physically he is. So I really hope they find him someone that does make him instantly feel comfortable.
That's like...
You, Luke.
Yeah, that's me.
How are you?
I love that he was even disappointed with that one. He was like, yeah, that's me. Sorry about the fat slag comment.
So you're single, never been married, any children?
Nope.
Like, you can tell here that Luke, you know, obviously is very nervous here, and this situation, you know, is new for him, which obviously makes him more tense and brings on more of his tics. But you can tell straight away that he's a really nice person because he keeps talking about things from the potential girl's point of view. He keeps saying how certain things that he does is going to impact them, and he understands why it would impact them. He just seems like a really empathetic person. I just think he's so funny. He's proper self-aware. He seems like a good laugh. I think someone would be perfect for this bloke. Like, there's a time when he has a tic, and the way he looks to the camera is almost like comedic genius.
Hey, horny.
Yeah. Sorry. That was like a clip from The Office, the way he goes, horny. You alright? Yeah. He hit the camera with the good guy smile. What a bloke. It's like the smile you do to old ladies to make sure they know that you're not a murderer. You alright? You alright, love? The show then skips to the day that Richard will be going on his date with Dawn.
Richard has only been on one date in 20 years. It lasted just 20 minutes.
What happened on this date? They keep referencing this date that only lasted 20 minutes, but they don't say why. What happened? You can't keep mentioning it and then don't explain it. I need to know.
Everybody says that I'm always thinking of aftershave all the time, and
I don't know if this is intentional, but he's spraying half the can on his, on his penis area. Hey, gotta keep it smelling fresh with Lynx. Whole crotch is just stinking of Lynx Africa. The best smelling crotch in the pub. Quite a lot of deodorant, Richard.
when you're going on a date, you've got to be sure.
I just know this guy loves Christmas when he's getting his Lynx Africa box set. You know, like some people complain at them box sets. This man is hoarding them, loves them, lives for them. I think it's a good thing that he wants to smell well. Like, he clearly wants to impress. He's putting in a lot of effort for Dawn. This is a good thing. As long as he doesn't kill the cameraman, right? They just need to open some windows, just make sure there's a lot of ventilation in this room. By the way, donuts, just before we proceed with this video, I want to say, if you haven't already, please do press the subscribe button. We're on the hunt for 1 million donuts on this channel, okay? We're growing rapidly. The donuts are increasing, so if you want to be in the before 1 milli club, press the subscribe button now and join the best community on the internet. Before we get to see Richard on his date with Dawn, the show then skips to Penny, who's reacting to a dating profile she's been sent from the agency.
Max is friendly, cheerful, and...
Sorry? Is he in a boy band? What's he doing with that vest on? Will from the In-Betweeners over here. Go on, son.
Hoping to meet a girl with a great personality, with a cracking sense of humour. Quite well matched for me. 5'11", apparently.
I mean, it is under 6 foot, but love, just get him some of them, you know, the cushions that people put in their shoes to appear taller than what they actually are. And then he's about 6'1". Just make sure he always wears his shoes in the house. And then there you go, you've got your 6 foot lord ready and waiting. Anyway, back to Richard. He is having a slight issue with getting to his date as his mum's cars broke down.
Hello,
So the car's backed.
Kind of, yes.
Ah. See, like, this would be stressful for anyone, but just because what we know Richard goes through, this is going to just be extra stressful for him. Just last minute changes aren't going to do him any good.
You're swearing.
I am fucking swearing. Of course I'm fucking swearing.
He's so good. He's so good. Yes, of course I'm fucking swearing. Your fucking car's broke down, you selfish bastard. You can tell why Richard definitely wants a woman that's like his mum, because she's just so patient with him, and she really just, you know, whenever there's an issue, she just fixes it. She just goes about it, takes everything into her own hands, doesn't stress. She's like a superwoman.
Could I book a car to take me to Camberley? Right, coming straight away.
Think better.
What? Why is he whispering? Does he think they can hear? Oh, is it because she was on the phone? Okay, that's why he's whispering. That explains it. I mean, she did hang up towards the end, but he just wants to make sure. Phones are always listening. Right, I say one thing, it's on me For You page within minutes. I get it, Richard. Luckily, Richard manages to reach the pub on time for his date.
Hello,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
They look like a couple, right? Like, if I walked into a pub or a bar and I saw these two together, I would be like, yeah. Yeah. The show says that one of the main points for these two getting matched together was because of their shared interest in a certain type of music. Unsure what that is. Maybe it's drill or, you know, just underground rap. Possibly that's the kind of vibes I'm getting here. Little bit of gigs, little bit of Digger D. Looks like the music both of these people would participate in. Whilst Richard is on this date with Dawn, we then get like a short interview with Richard's mum, and it's like it's a little bit sad because she's really rooting for Richard to find somebody so she can gain some of her independence back.
I have had a couple of boyfriends. Richard gets terribly, terribly jealous.
If someone's gonna fuck my mother, it'll be me. Get out! That's one of the worst sentences I've ever said. Well, that's out there now. It does seem like the practice that Richard had with his mum on the practice day has really helped, because Richard is really keeping the conversation going here. He's doing really well with Dawn. They're bonding over their shared interest in music. Like I said, drill music, underground rap. They're both big fans. And they both live with their mum, so they have that to bond over as well. However, Dawn did order food and Richard didn't order food for some reason, and you can tell he's regretting it because he's really hungry. So when Dawn is finished with her food, Richard just starts eating her leftovers, and you can tell it makes Dawn uncomfortable.
Gosh, look at that.
Oh, yeah. Was that actually why you doing this on your first date?
Like, this isn't that bad of a thing if yous have been together for a little while, you know, or yous are just comfortable with each other. But the fact, like, a tissue's over the plate and he's, like, moved it and he's just kind of, the bits she's chewed, he's oh. Yeah, I get why this would make her feel a little bit uncomfortable, okay? But again, Richard isn't trying to make her uncomfortable here. Like he said, he can't pick up on social cues. It's a lot more difficult for his brain to process these kind of things. It's just an unfortunate scenario where, you know, he's not getting the vibe from Dawn that she doesn't like this. Stop, Richard! Rich! Oh, right. I can't watch. I can't. I was rooting for you. I thought this was it. Yous were getting on so well. This reminds us of that scene in the movie Step Brothers where they're having the job interviews and they're doing really well in all the job interviews and they realise they're doing well, so they like sabotage it by just farting in one of them. Oh, he was doing so well, bless him. I mean, this is an improvement. I think they've been here longer than 20 minutes. You know, that most infamous date they keep mentioning. Infamous, not infamous. And you can tell by Dawn's face, she's just got the ick at this point.
I was so sorry I have to go, but
It's been nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
I can't watch. I can't do this. I've grew an emotional attachment to Richard. This is like a dagger straight in the heart. It was because of the leftovers. It was going so well until this point. She left as soon as he started doing this. Why didn't he just order food? Dawn then speaks to the camera outside and she basically tells us what she thought of the date.
I just felt it was a complete flop.
I mean, she's well within her rights to think that, you know, if that's how she felt, that's how she felt. You know what, Richard? There's going to be someone else that will appreciate you eating the leftovers, okay? The thing that kills me about this scene is you can tell in Richard's eyes that Dawn leaving has really affected him, but he doesn't want to kind of show the camera it has. You can just see by, like, the twinkle in his eye that he feels a little bit upset.
Yeah, he's a good-looking chap, but he's an idiot.
I want to cry. I want to cry. You can just see how he doesn't really understand. Like, obviously, what he's just done there, he doesn't really see an issue with it because in his world it's completely fine and he doesn't mean any ill will by it. Oh, bless this. This man is too pure for this world. Still reminds us of Arthur Television a little bit. I can't lie. I think also just the fact that this is a very high-pressured situation for him where he's going to be under even more levels of stress. It just makes it even harder for his brain to, like, process so many emotions at one time, unfortunately. Like, dating is nerve-wracking for anybody, and everybody overthinks everything on a first date, and for him it's going to be, like, times 100, so can you imagine how difficult that must be? From one first date to another, we now get to see Luke on his first date.
I might take something silly. Fucking whore.
Go on, Luke, get all the bad ones out the way. Right, just get them out, let them out. Luke's date is called Lucy, and she's a receptionist, and she's also never met anybody before who has Tourette's.
Hi. Hi. Nice to meet you.
This is so awkward. Like, first dates in general are just difficult, but imagine being on camera and like meeting for the first time on camera as well and having to flirt knowing that people are watching you. Oh, it must be so horrible. All of these extra factors are obviously going to make Luke feel a lot nervous. However, I do think it's a good thing that Luke and Lucy are doing an activity. So like Luke can kind of channel his energy into doing something as well, so he's not overthinking everything he's saying. And instantly you have something to talk about because you're playing a game. And in this date, they seem to be getting on really well with each other.
I haven't heard him swear yet, which is disappointing because I think that's funny.
I'm rooting for these two, okay? Like, you can tell Lucy doesn't really know how to go about talking about this because obviously she's just never met somebody that has Tourette, and that's fine. But I definitely think her energy makes Luke feel comfortable because, like she said, Luke's like tics haven't really been coming out much this day, and that'll be because he probably feels comfortable with her. His mind's also focused on the bowling. Luke says that he has managed to suppress his tics. However, when they go to the pub afterwards, they start to come out a little bit more.
My friend's the one that suggested it. Thanks.
You can tell Luke appreciates how Lucy's reacting to these because, you know, with some other people, it might turn the conversation awkward. Lucy's just laughing along with it and making him feel like comfortable enough to have these tics. And you can just tell he's having a really good time. Everyone's obviously got their own way of dealing with it, but I think this is a really healthy way to do it. And I think this shows that Lucy could potentially be a really good partner for Luke because she just puts him at ease and makes him feel comfortable. After the date, both Luke and Lucy say they both want to see each other again because they've had such a class time, which is mint. Go on, Luke, son. Knew I believed in you. But before we get to see their second date, the show then cuts to Penny, who's on her first date.
Max is a youth worker who also runs a wheelchair dance group.
I mean, that's pretty cool. A wheelchair dance group, that's fun. That's something you can talk about. Also, when he asked her if she wanted a drink, she was very much playing hard to get there. She was like, yeah, whatever you want, actually. Don't worry, I probably won't be here for long. Unless you impress us. Are you over 6 foot, by the way? 5'11"? Oh, get us 2 drinks, right? That'll make us forget. I think they're getting along with each other, like they're having like a couple of laughs.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to take it while you go down the bar?
Thank you very much, Penny.
Now, although this could be seen as awkward, I feel like it's just breaking the ice a little bit and it's just getting them kind of talking to each other. Like, this is better than just total awkward silences. However, I don't think that Penny really is invested in this date.
It's alright, but I'm not really feeling anything. I'm not quite convinced.
You know, straight away when she saw him, I don't think she was impressed. I don't know if it was just, you know, the instant attraction wasn't there. Just her vibe when she was talking to him, she didn't seem like she was really up for it. It's almost like he didn't have a chance. You're not 6 foot and you're not a policeman. Why are you even here? Unless you're gonna cuff us up in the next 10 seconds, get out of here, son. And it is a real shame because Penny's date says that he really likes her and he wants to see her again, but unfortunately this probably just isn't gonna happen. Penny then returns home to tell her mum and dad how the date went, and she actually says something really interesting.
I think I'd quite like to date someone without a disability. I think they'd sort of be a bit more livelier.
Now that is interesting. Like, obviously she's well within her rights. That's what she wants as a preference. I think she's very stuck on wanting somebody that is 6 foot and a policeman. She very much wants like a macho man, like very much like an alpha male. And I didn't really get the vibes from a date that he was kind of ticking those boxes. The show then cuts back to Richard and he's on his radio telling his friend that he hasn't given up on love. He also tells us that he's already got another date lined up with the agency.
I've got another one this afternoon. Well, without being too big-headed, I look good on paper.
He definitely does fancy himself a little bit. In his own words, he says he's a little bit of an idiot. But physically, I think he might actually want to shag himself. Whilst Richard is preparing for his second date with a new person, Luke is going on a second date with Lucy. However, she is 20 minutes late and this is making Luke really stressed as he doesn't believe she's going to show up. Is anyone going to find love by the end of this? I need one person, please.
If not, I'll be a bit gutted, I'll admit.
Lucy is now half an hour late.
Can they not like text him? Can Lucy not be like, oh, by the way, or like text the producers just letting him know? Like, this would just put him at ease a little bit. The producers are seeing that he's having more and more tics, he's getting more and more stressed out. Surely she can text. Now, does Lucy actually stand Luke up? We're gonna have to wait and see because we go straight back to Richard's date.
Nice to meet you.
And you, what would you like to drink?
Cafe latte?
Cafe latte.
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 Latte. I think that's got lost in the accent there. Or maybe he just doesn't have coffee himself, so he has no idea what coffee's on it. Not cafe latte, not lantern. Don't ask for a lantern. She's only going to give you a light.
Cafe latte and a coffee, please.
Cafe latte and a coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, phew. She knew what he meant. She knew what he meant. Straight away, though, this is like such a tell of Richard's character. Like, before he's even sat down, he's went over, asked her what she wants to drink, and then went straight over to order it. Like, he's such a gentleman, this bloke. I love him. Again, this date starts off so well for Richard. They're talking about their similar interests, the different hobbies they have. And one hobby that Richard's date says she does kind of throws Richard off a little bit.
You like running?
Yes, running and hoeing. I do hoeing.
Sorry, hoeing was that? Oh. What, like... Well, I don't... Hoeing? Huh? This is Richard! He doesn't need that! Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Hoeing, the world's finished. Obviously, she didn't mean that. She actually meant to say rowing. It just got lost in her accent. They also talk about how they both lost their dad at the exact same age. Like, this is a real point where they can emotionally connect with each other. Although it's like a deep thing to talk about on a first date, it will be nice that they've both been through this experience and they can kind of talk about their emotions that are involved with losing a parent that young. And you can tell because he actually feels connected to this person. Richard is a lot more comfortable on this date. He even brings out his signature move.
We used to do boxing when I was younger.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes.
To be fair, I mean, it is a bold flirting move, but it seems to be working. Like, look at her face there. She's loving it. Even this bloke outside's like, can I have a touch? You've got another arm there. Can I have a feel? Right? Are you offering everyone, are you? Just asking. She's loving this. I mean, she's into fitness herself. Like, she says she does running and she does rowing. So this is probably something she is maybe attracted to. It's just hilarious that he's like, go on, love. Have a feel. Go on. Spend all day there, love. Squeeze it while you drink your coffee lantern. They'll be there the whole time. Don't you worry. The only thing is, if this drags on a little bit too long, it's going to be a little bit awkward. Right, enough, Richard. There we go. No, not the second Tom. Okay. Put them down, Rich. Richard. Rich. This man. Wait, can I do it? No, I don't even know why I'm trying. How does this man do this? No wonder he does it all the time. Nobody else can do it. It's like he's superpower. Good job that he does spray a lot of deodorant. Otherwise, you know, he would be exposing his patches. But that's why he sprays. He knows that he might need to pull out the signature move at any given moment.
It's okay.
I love that she was like, okay, you can stop now. Yeah, you're right, it's fine. Okay, that's enough, Rich, thank you. I love that I keep calling him Rich as if we're like on that level. But me and him are like, you know, we're like, well, we're boys, honestly. You wouldn't get it, right? You're not like that with Richard. I am, you see, not you. God, don't worry, Rich. We don't need to bother about them. And they both want to see each other again. Like, they both give glowing reports of each other, which is really nice to see. And it shows that Richard has actually had a successful date. They haven't walked out like this. Even if they don't go anywhere, which I really hope they do, Richard has got past that stage of somebody not walking out on him. Anyway, back to Luke's date. Did Lucy turn up? Or did Lucy stand up our Luke? I'm gonna tell you. She only fucking came. Come on. Fucking get in. I mean, she was 40 minutes late, but apparently it was down to public transport. So we'll let her off this time just because how nice she is to our Luke. Again, they have a really good date. They do an activity of ice skating. So they both instantly have something to talk about. And it's quite funny as Luke's fallen over a couple of times and they're having a laugh about it. And I don't know if it is because they're doing an activity, but Luke doesn't seem to be overthinking things. He just seems really comfortable. And he's not getting himself too stressed out about overthinking about what to say, just like the bowling alley date, and he just seems like he's just being himself. And again, they both say that they want to have another day, and it looks like something is really blossoming here. And I thought the episode was going to end here. However, they slip in a little bit more for Richard. Richard says that despite him and the French lady having such a good date, he doesn't want to see her again.
She was a really, really nice girl, but there wasn't any physical attraction on my part anyway.
Basically, she doesn't look like me mum. And if there's one thing about me, I'm not going to say that sentence. You finish that yourself. Okay, I'm not having another out of context clip out there. The first thing that he put on his list was that, you know, he prefers people that are blonde, and both of the people that the agency give him weren't blonde. I'm not saying that's the be all and end all, but before anything, that's what he said. And this man doesn't change his thinking that often. And that's the end of this episode of The Undatables. Now, I have researched into all of these people to see where they are now and what they did after the show. We'll start off with Richard. Richard actually was one of the most famous people to appear on this show after it aired. He actually featured in a lot of episodes after this one. He went on even more dates on the show and even did a flat tour.
43-year-old Lord Richard has acquired an off-the-peg title in a bid to impress his potential dates.
What? How is he just suddenly an aristocrat? Can you do that? Is that like a possibility in the UK? You can just become a lord if you want to. Oh my lord, I need to do that. Lord Kirkham, Lord of the Donuts. Oh! What? I might just shag myself. That is incredible. It's also nice that he's got like a multi-gym. He didn't have that before. Like, is this man just becoming a new specimen? He's hench and a lord. Oh my god, they're going to be forming a queue for him.
But of course, I am a little concerned. Be a bit wary of gold diggers.
I can't tell if he's joking here or not. That is incredible. Yeah, I don't want someone to, come into my life and then we split up and she steals my multi-gym. I've heard the horror stories. Well,
I'm normally polite. If somebody irritates me, I'll just turn around and tell them to fuck off.
I think Richard might be top 3 men ever. This guy's just iconic. Mood.
Bathroom fit for a lord. Got plenty of toothpaste.
Fucking hell. Could power a village for an entire month the amount of teeth whitening products we've got here. His mouth could cure most diseases, it's so clean. However, I watched all of the dates he went on after his first episode on The Undatables, and I don't believe any of them ended up being successful. When researching what he's up to now, I found both his TikTok and his Instagram, and he's posting regularly on these social medias. On location with my manager, Mason Knight. And then he's just attached this cute photo. That is incredible. Definitely not edited in. No Photoshop was used in this photo. Happy Tuesday, everyone. For your information, I've just signed the NDA and contract for the new show and celebrating with my manager. I love you all. This guy is the best guy. Top 2 men ever created now. I found the perfect solution to the 5-mile limit from my front door. I'll be taking it with me. I mean, that works, right? It's just 5 miles wherever that door is, Richard. This guy is so funny, man. He does look a lot different now. Obviously, he would have aged from the show.
Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks. Going into the year with a snap pencil. I don't really know what this is meant to insinuate, but I hope you're okay, fella. Right? Like this, if out of anyone in the world, if I could wish happiness on anyone, it would be Richard.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Or Happy Fuckmas.
To anyone that celebrated Fuckmas in 2024, this would have been the perfect video for you. Is it actually fog, or is it everyone's Lynx Africa? What does it mean? To be fair, he probably gets that a lot with how much deodorant this man wears, so he's probably just posting it for everyone else to see.
I just want to wish all my friends a happy St. George's Day.
I think he just comes on when, like, people are celebrating festivals, like Christmas, St. George's Day, Easter, and just says, like, happy. Like, just wishes everyone a happy experience on these holidays. It's so, like, wholesome. The man's literally got a night in his sitting room. This guy is iconic. I did dive a little deeper to see if he is with anyone at the moment, and I don't believe he has found true love as of yet. As he posted this meme with obviously the royal family saying, "Date Richard, he's funny." Now, I don't believe you would post this if you actually were with someone. So if Richard seems like the type of bloke that you would like to spend your life with, ladies, get in his DMs. Okay, you've seen the man's a legend. Moving on, I found that Penny only has a Twitter account. I don't believe she has an Instagram or a TikTok, or at least I couldn't find it. She tweets on her Twitter account quite a lot, and she's also got her own dog, which obviously is really nice that, you know, she's got someone to spend time with if it's not a partner. A dog can definitely help with your loneliness. I know that all too well. So hopefully she's doing okay as well, and she's still on the lookout for our 6-foot policeman hunk. Now, the hardest person to find anything anything out about was Luke. The only thing I found was that him and Lucy called it quits on their relationship. They decided that the best way forward for both of them was just to remain friends, which is actually kind of sad because it looked like they were really building a strong connection and they seemed like they had a really good chemistry. However, Luke did say that he was really happy to appear on the show because it raised awareness for Tourette's and the things that people with Tourette's have to go through. And overall, just after reviewing this show, it makes us really sad to think that these people that entered themselves onto it actually thought that they were undateable, like they'd actually believed that nobody wanted to date them. I know every single person that we covered in this episode still is single, but that doesn't mean they're undateable. It just means they haven't found their perfect person yet. I do think it's a little harsh from the creators of the show to label them the Undatables, because that kind of puts this tagline on them that they're not nice people in a way, or at least that's what it makes people assume. And I'm unsure if this show actually does help these people or if it hinders them in their dating life. It'll be interesting to hear what you think. I've read a couple of articles and it says they don't actually get paid for being on the show, which is strange because it is such a huge show, and even on Love Island, like, they get paid what they would miss out on from work. And I know with the Undatables you probably don't have to give up as much time, but they still have to give up their time, and this show will be making millions of pounds, so it's a shame that they don't kind of, you know, give them any money for appearing on the show, especially since this show is like so successful in terms of viewing figures. Like, there's so many seasons of this show, and if you'd like me to break down an entire season for you, let me know. Like 5,000 likes on this video and we will do it, and also comment what season you'd like me to do, because this has been one of my favourite videos to record, honestly. And on that note, donuts, if you would like to see me break down another dating show that is as wild as this one, click this video right here. Go on a binge watcher them while you're here. You might as well enjoy your night, right? See you later, donuts.